Business model. Every business has one. Whether you're in retail, financial services, industrial manufacturing, or web-based and digital platform business, or whether yours is a publicly listed company or just a humble burger stall by the rail station, you have a business model. But whether you realize it and are able to articulate your business model is another matter. Just what do most people think a business model is?
I think that a business model is a scheme by which a business runs
a set of plans for how a business wants to, I don't know. I guess it's how they decide what they decide to do, what they decide the product is, how to market it.
The way a company is structured and the way that a company can operate.
Ways of improving a business.
How it plans to sort of structure its company.
It's a plan to operate a business successfully and to make money.
Is a business model simply a blueprint for making money? David Wong of the Big Innovation Center unpacks the concept.
A business model is the articulation or rationale of how a business creates, delivers, and captures value. And though value here is a keyword, I suppose in layman's language, one might just about get away describing it as how a business works. I think it's important to distinguish between succinctly describing a business model and understanding how a business model works. When we describe a business model, most of us would usually concentrate on the most striking or the most salient features of the model. So if you're asked to describe the business model of Ryanair, for example, chances are that you'll say it's a no-frills, low-cost business model. And likewise, if you're asked about Arm, you'll say it's a licensing business model. Now, that's all very well for the armchair observer, but business leaders will want to understand a bit more about how the business model works. To understand a business model, I think we first need to understand the components that make up the business model. For that matter, I think the business model canvas, with its 9 components, is a very useful illustration of what a business model is made up of. Only by understanding the individual components and how they relate to each other, pretty much like how pieces of a jigsaw come together, can we get a better picture of the entire activity system of the business model. Now, in the same manner, I think one can only understand Ryanair or EasyJet's cost leadership positioning by understanding the activity system that enables such business model. But central to the discussion of business model is having a clear idea of the value proposition a business offers its customers. By value proposition, I mean something more than just a unique selling proposition. Most of us are quite familiar with the concept of USP, but not necessarily the simple idea behind value proposition. So when we talk about value proposition, we always start by asking the question, what customer job is our offering helping customers get done? Now, for example, someone who buys a drill is actually buying a hole in the wall. The job is to get that hole in the wall. The drill is only the tool hired to get that job done. So it doesn't matter what business you're in, or you might even have a very innovative way of creating, delivering, and capturing value. But you must always start by asking what customers are hiring your products and services for. That's the foundation of value proposition.
As value creation sits very highly on the agenda of business owners and senior executives, it is natural to think that business model is all about business strategy.
Now, business model is more than just about strategy. Yes, strategy figures highly in any discussion about business model, but it's also very much about marketing. It's very much about finance and economics, for example. Marketing, because you mustn't forget that everything starts with the customer. We ought to know our customers, we ought to be clear about what value we're offering them, what sort of relationship they're after, and how best we deliver value to them. Finance, I think, simply because value creation and delivery certainly affect our cost architecture. And how we capture value depends on how optimal our revenue architecture is. It's no good having an attractive value proposition or indeed a very good product if it doesn't ultimately translate into profits.